Hey guys, ChaoticMeatball here, and welcome back to the FireRed LeafGreen 386 challenge, where we go through FireRed and LeafGreen and see how well each unevolved Pokemon available stacks up. Today, we've got Hoothoot, who's quite interesting actually. It's able to learn a bunch of normal, flying, and psychic moves along with Shadow Ball, which will be plenty useful against the likes of Agatha and the Pokemon Tower, though Psychic can do plenty since the Pokemon Tower's ghosts are all part poison. It'll likely be useful in the rematch when I gotta take care of the pure ghost type Mischievous, but that's beside the point. We've got moves like Psychic, Fly, Return, Double Team, Aerial Ace, and Shadow Ball that'll likely be the best moves for the challenge. Anyway, let's get right into it. If you need a refresher on the rules, go ahead and check out my first video in this series on Chikorita. So, first rival battle is pretty easy due to having Stab with Tackle, same advantage as Sentret essentially, and we'll be doing the same thing that we did with Sentret, and that's grind on Route 22 with Mankeys. And this admittedly took quite a bit of time since I wanted to get Hypnosis at level 16 before fighting Brock, since I didn't have the option for Fury Swipes. I have to make sure that I keep myself alive and keep them asleep so that I can do as much damage as possible while not getting hit. I did so within about an hour and a half, got through Viridian Forest, and fought Brock, which went well at first, since I landed my first Hypnosis and got a few pecks off before he woke up and started using Defense Curl. I landed one again, but due to the inaccuracy of Hypnosis, it's wildly inconsistent, plus they wake up so quickly after putting them to sleep that it's not nearly as useful as I was hoping for. At least in this version, Brock doesn't have any healing items, unlike how he has 5 full heals in the original Red and Blue. I managed to get past Geodude with 37 HP before getting into Onyx, getting off Hypnosis before using Growl strats, since I wanted to make sure that Rock Tomb was as weak as humanly possible, but only one speed drop made it so that he could outspeed and use Bind, effectively making Sleep useless since he could still damage me. Either way, I managed to get him down to about 2/3 health before going down myself, leading me to decide I need more levels. So back to Route 22 and the Mankeys I went. Since I needed more attack EVs, why not just to get as much advantage as I can while I'm at it? So after about another hour and 15 minutes of grinding, I fought Brock again, and yeah, I'm already really behind, but this was the attempt. Geodude wasn't too bad since I went for Peck over and over again after putting him to sleep at first, surviving at half health just enough to take on the Onyx without it being too hard. Hypnosis and Growl were perfect for keeping him from doing too much damage, and I got 2 good critical hits in a row before he eventually went down, getting a lucky Rock Tomb miss right at the end. If he didn't miss that, I would have been done for and had to try again, but I'm glad that this is over with. Now I can get to the easier gyms and get the good TMs for taking care of pesky rock-type Pokemon like that. So, skipping over everything on Route 3 on Mount Moon, I arrived in Cerulean City, allowing me to challenge Misty's gym trainers and my rival. I figured I may as well do Routes 24 and 25 first, since I'm still relatively low level, and Water Pulse I can't use since, well, it's not a water type, and it's not a normal type that can just summon whatever the heck it wants to, unlike the likes of Sentret and Rattata. Anyway, Keen Eye comes into play here as Pidgeotto tries using Sand Attack, failing and allowing me to 3-shot him easily. Rattata is a 2-shot with Peck, leading to Squirtle. Luckily it went for Withdraw, giving me a free turn, but it was a 4-shot, so I was able to do quite a bit of damage in the process. Also luckily for me, his last Pokemon is Abra, which can't do any damage whatsoever, so I just one-shotted with Peck. Perfect! It's not too often that I can go into battles like that confident in that I won't lose. Hoothoot got to the cusp of level 28 right before getting the SS ticket, which means it's time for Misty. The extra 5 levels should be enough to allow me to take her down. She leads with Staryu, who is an easy 2-shot with Peck after some healing shenanigans, not able to land anything on me due to her using Harden. I got Takedown at level 28, which I replaced Reflect for. It came in handy with Starmie, turning it into a simple 2-shot with it and Peck. Oh my god, I just realized. You know, I said the extra 5 levels should be enough to take her down, and then I learned Takedown. Oh, that's like the pun in the making. Either way, let's go on. I grabbed a few pickup Meowths before heading to the SSN, since they're right here, and I may as well try to scrounge for rare candies to catch up with the time. However, I do think I need to battle as much as I can to get as much experience, and for more opportunities to allow pickup to work its magic. So I made sure to battle all the trainers on Route 6 and the SSN, leading up to another rival battle. He's not terrible either, as the first attempt was all I needed. Pidgeotto's a 1-shot with Takedown, Raticate's also a 1-shot, Kadabra's a 1-shot with Peck, and Wartortle was barely not a 1-shot with Takedown, so I just KO'd it with another one. I didn't even heal before the battle, so somehow I didn't get KO'd with the recoil, but hey, I'll take it. And with that, I grab Cut, and the S.S. takes off, but I'm still not confident that I can beat Lieutenant Surge, so I went over to Route 11, took down those trainers, getting up to level 34 before fighting him. It's not too terribly hard, but it was kind of frightening due to the massive weakness to electric types. He leads with Voltorb, which was a one-shot with Takedown, Pikachu's a two-shot with Confusion, and of course I try to be fancy and avoid Static, so it paralyzes me anyway, leading to Raichu. Somehow, it's a one-shot with Takedown. I should have just gone on that with Pikachu. Oh well, nothing lost either way. Of course, I have to get through all of the stuff on Routes 9, 10, Rock Tunnel, and Route 8, but I'm able to arrive in Celadon City at a relatively high level, so there's nothing too bad about that. Here's where I made sure to revise Hoothoot's moveset dramatically, though. I got Return from Route 12 right below Lavender Town, Aerial Ace early on Route 9, and Psychic in Saffron City, which basically made Hoothoot a powerhouse at this point in the game. Heck, I mopped the floor with Erica in this run. Victory Bell was a one-shot with Psychic after healing from the first one, since I got the special defense drop. Tangle is a one-shot with Aerial Ace, and Vileplume's a two-shot with Psychic. Not gonna lie, I had a Cherry Berry attached to Hoothoot for the battle, so I didn't expect her to miss both stun spores that she used, so kudos to Hoothoot for dodging them. From here, I thought I had enough money to get the Shadow Ball TM, but I was wrong, so I figured I'd go after the Rocket Hideout to get the rest of my funds I needed. Giovanni, give me all your money! Oh, my insolence? Well, feel my world of pain! 2 Psychics to Onyx, 1 critical Psychic to Rhyhorn, and 2 Psychics in a return to Kangaskhan. Now give me all your money. $2,900? That's it? You're a rich crime boss! Hey, come back here, you piece of sh— Anyway, I got enough money to get the Shadow Ball TM thanks to the Fighting Dojo, allowing me to move on to Rival 4 in the Pokemon Tower. He's no match for me anymore, since Return is a one-shot in Pidgeotto, one-shot on Growlithe, Aerial Ace is a crit one-shot in Execute, Aerial Ace is a one-shot on Kadabra, and Wartortle's a one-shot with Return. Yeah, I even one-shotted the starter. Not too often that happens, does it? Speedy time. Get through Pokemon Tower, Pokeflute, avoid people on Cycling Road, Koga Trainers, and Koga time. He leads with Coughing, which is nearly a one-shot with Return, so I finish it off with 2 Aerial Aces after healing. Muck comes out next, and I get the lucky special defense drop on Psychic, making it a 2-shot after Minimize. The second Coughing is a one-shot with Psychic, and Wheezing a 2-shot after poisoning me. Not bad at all. And with Double Team and Surf in hand, I'm able to go back over to Saffron and take out the Sylph Company. Hoothoot's basically running through everything now that it has an ideal moveset, so it didn't take long to make it to Rival 5. He leads with Pidgeot, which was nearly a one-shot with Return, so I finished it with Aerial Ace. Luckily, it doesn't have Feather Dance yet. I know that's going to be problems coming up, but hey, let's just enjoy it while it lasts. Growlithe is a one-shot with Return, and Execute is a 2-shot with Aerial Ace after missing its status move. Whoopsie. Alakazam is a one-shot with Return, leaving just Blastoise. And it just spams Protect like it usually does, so I just attempted to put it to sleep so I can wail on it with 3 returns to KO. That's basically the most ideal fight I could get out of this one, so I'm pleased. After grabbing Lapras, it's time for Giovanni, and I'm about to get that money he still owes me, that son of a bitch. He leads with Nidorino, which is a one-shot with Psychic, Rhyhorn's a 2-shot with Psychic, doing nearly half with 2-hit Rock Blast, that was scary. Kangaskhan used Fake Out and Rage, but I finished it in 2 returns, leaving just Nidoqueen. It actually manages to finish me off. How dare you, Giovanni? I have you know that just because you beat me doesn't mean you still don't owe me money, you cocksucker. Too much? Too much. I get back to his Nidoqueen and finish it with 2 returns. Since my physical attack is so much better than my special, then it's just easier to take it down with that. I escape roped out, and it's time for Sabrina, and luckily she's easy, since literally everything except for Venomoth went down to a single return, since I opted for Psychic on the first attack. But Aerial Ace managed to take it down, so who cares? Time for a bunch of extra stuff between me and Blaine. One thing that I appreciate about Sabrina's gym is that I can escape rope out of it. That's it, nothing too special, but on to Cinnabar Island. You know, I'm realizing that there's not as many major battles in Kanto as you'd think. It's got the 8 gym leaders, the Elite 4, the Champion, 5 other rival battles, or 6 if you do the optional one on Route 22, and the 2 battles with Giovanni as a gym leader. That's only 20 required major battles. I mean, I guess when comparing to the likes of Black and White, it's gonna be a lot smaller in comparison, but hey, this is just the remix of the first games without many challenges, so I digress. Time for Blaine. Hoothoot is level 60 at this point, which is pretty good, as I'm able to one-shot Growlithe and Ponyta with Return, and barely not on Rapidash as he uses Fire Blast and heals. An Aerial Ace and Return later and it goes down. Arcanine is out next, and I use a Hypnosis to put it to sleep, but of course he heals it with a full heal as I use Return. He misses a Fire Blast as I put him to sleep again, KOing him in 2 more returns. Not bad, glad I kept Hypnosis for so long. I rejected Bill's offer to go to the Sevi Islands for the time being, explaining to him that I have to collect a debt before going out, so I have some nice spending money. That's right, you asshole, give me my money! He leads with Rhyhorn as I use Psychic, nearly a one-shot as he uses Scary Face. I used Aerial Ace and followed up with another Psychic to put him down. The second Rhyhorn comes out and it uses another Scary Face, but I still outspeed and KO it with 2 Psychics. Dugtrio's next and it hits Slash as I KO with Psychic, needing the Nidoking. It uses Body Slam as I get it into the red with Return. He heals, and I do massive damage again with Return, leading to him to get off 1 more Body Slam before rubbing it in with a critical Return. Lastly is Nidoking, who used Thrash, but was nearly a one-shot with Psychic, so I was able to finish him off after he used Thrash again, leaving only 9 HP. That's right, $5,000 is what I needed. Now, go do something other than give your son abandonment issues. Time for Rival 6, and oh boy, I got my bum handed to me. Pidgeot just went straight for the Feather Dance, and it basically screwed me for the rest of the battle, since everything became such a hassle to take down that it kept just getting pot shots on me, eventually leading me to get taken out by his final Blastoise. Well, to the Sevi Islands I go, and come back. And this time, the rival wasn't too bad. I hit Hypnosis on Pidgeot, then KO'd with 2 returns, which was plenty enough for me to get through without a hitch. Rhyhorn is a one-shot with Psychic, Growlithe is a one-shot with Return, Execute is a 2-shot with Return, though it paralyzed me, so that was a bit of a hindrance, but not too much of one. Alakazam disabled my Return, so I wasn't able to attack for 2 turns, but once I did, it was a one-shot, leading to Blastoise. He set up Rain Dance, but I was able to 4-shot him, not getting paralyzed once, which was lucky, since if I did get paralyzed once, I would have been taken out and had to try again. Good job, Hoothoot, the power of electricity is no match for a simple owl. 1 victory road later, and it's yet again time for the Elite Four. I tried at level 75 and was able to get through Dugong, but Slowbro absolutely murdered me, so I need more levels. Thankfully, I got enough rare candies from pickup to make this relatively simple. Level 81 wasn't enough either, though now that I'm looking back, I'm sure I could have made it through if I used a Chesto Berry with Jinx, but alas. I'm all the way up at level 88 and taught Shadow Ball in place of Aerial Ace for a pesky part Psychic type since Ghost is physical in this generation. This time works out, as she starts with Dugong and I nearly one-shot with Return as she uses Hail, dooming her to go down without being able to use an attacking move. Slowbro's out next and Shadow Ball does over half if she uses Amnesia, allowing me to take her down with another Shadow Ball. Next up is Jinx, who I outspeed and KO with Shadow Ball, leaving to Lapras. I do around 75% with Return as she confuses me and uses her Citrus Berry, doing massive damage with Ice Beam before I finish her off with Return. Last up is Cloister, and it would have been a 2-shot if not for Lorelei healing with another full restore, though 2 Psychics later and she's done. Alright, I finally found a good level to fight these guys. Bruno's up next, and he starts with Onyx, which is a one-shot crit with Psychic, and so is Hitmonchan nearly. It misses Sky Uppercut and he heals, allowing me to follow up with 2 Psychics for the KO. Machamp is dumb and uses Bulk Up, allowing me to KO in 2 Psychics without any trouble. Hitmonlee's a near one-shot and also misses, allowing me to finish it with 2 Shadow Balls, leaving just his Onyx. He uses Double Edge twice, but I managed to take it down in 3 hits. Not too bad. The fact that he didn't touch me with anything other than his second Onyx is astounding. Anyway, Agatha's up next, and she's a first try as well, as Gengar goes down to a single Shadow Ball, Golbat is a one-shot with Psychic, Arbok gets off Intimidate, but Psychic is a one-shot, allowing me to level up and nail the second Gengar with a near one-shot with Shadow Ball before it puts me to sleep. Somehow, though, I wake up after she only used 1 Sludge Bomb, allowing me to finish her off with another Shadow Ball. Haunter's the last out, and bam, gone. To be expected, but I don't know why she has a Haunter. If she uses 2 Gengars, why does she have that? Couldn't she just be a Poison-type user and have a Vileplume or something? It would have at least been more of a diverse team to fight. Anyway, on to Lance. He's a bit of a pain with healing items, but aside from that, he's really not too difficult. Though it did take me about 4 attempts to win. I finally gave Hoothoot Double Team in place of Hypnosis since it was just a dead slot not doing anything anymore. So I just set up 6 of them against Gyarados, allowing me to sweep his team. 2-shot with Return to Gyarados, 2 Psychics, a full restore, and 2 more Psychics later, down goes Aerodactyl. 2 returns to Dragonair number 1, 2 returns to Dragonair number 2, though it managed to get Outrage off, so props to Dragonair 2, everybody. Let's give it a round of applause, and Dragonite was a 3-shot with Return after a Citrus Berry. See, when his second Dragonair is his most successful Pokemon in the battle, there is something wrong. And that's called cheese strats. Anyway, it's time for the first bout with the champion. 3rd time's the charm with him as I nailed a Return on Pidgeot, leading him to heal. I just went for 3 Psychics after that, leading to Rhydon. From here, I decided to use Double Team since it has the most inaccurate move in the entire battle, and that's Rock Tomb. So I managed to set up all 6 of them after only getting hit by it once. From there, I took it down with 2 Psychics, leading to Alakazam. I may have gotten hit by Feather Dance, but Shadow Ball in return is still enough to take down Alakazam quickly. Executor, however, is a tougher nut to crack, though, as Shadow Ball is a 3-shot, and I can just say it's so weird that Shadow Ball lowers special defense when it's a physical move. In fact, why is Shadow Ball physical in Gen 3? It's a ghost type. That's ethereal, that's gotta be special, man. At least it made sense in Gen 4 and onwards, but I digress. Next up is Arcanine, and it's a 2-shot thanks to a lucky critical return, bypassing the attack drops. Last up is Blastoise, and Psychic does a significant chunk, but his Citrus Berry nullifies one of them early, turning it into a 4-shot. He kept going for Hydro Pump though, and with 6 double teams, there was no way he was getting past me. And with that, we are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Oh wait, this isn't a music video. One trip to the Sevi Islands later, and we come back to the round 2 of the Elite Four. Not at the max level, however. I wanted to see if I could keep Hoothoot below the max level, since with Double Team, I honestly should be able to beat one of these challenges below level 100. Also, I've got to admit, why are these admins so easy? I feel like I should recap them, since, heck, Team Rocket admins in Johto are a lot more threatening and dangerous. Well, at least in Heart Gold Soul Silver anyway, but apparently we're not allowed to have extremely challenging fights. Save those for the Trainer Tower or Battle Frontier in Emerald. Anyway, back to the Elite Four it is. Let's finish off these guys, shall we? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave these fights as a montage, as I talk about some differences between how Red and Blue challenges work in comparison to FireRed and LeafGreen, since I've seen a few comments around that say it's all the same. Double Team cheese through the last few battles, and you're right. As much as I try to delay using Double Team until the last absolute minute, I have, without fail, used it every time. There's of course a few things that I can't take advantage of that Gen 1 runs can use, and that's stuff like the badge boost glitch, and the fact that the AI is completely and utterly dumb in comparison to the remakes. And I understand that yes, of course the remakes are going to be fixed and therefore be made harder, because the original games were put together by Spit and a freaking Wish, which is why these fights now require so much higher level Pokemon. I mean, compare J-Rose 11's Poliwag run to the Totodile run. He's at level 60 by the time he beats the champion. Level 60! That is insane for a solo challenge in just about any other generation. But then you look at the Totodile run I did, and it's at level 81 and barely surviving, even with the access to held items that I have. And that's not including the Elite Four Round 2. Gen 1 does not have the Elite Four Round 2. Added on to this craziness is that the teams in FireRed, LeafGreen are even lower level than the teams in Red and Blue. But of course, this is because they have a lot better movesets. I mean, why does Dugong have Growl, Aurora Beam, Rest, and Takedown in Red and Blue, but have Surf, Ice Beam, Hail, and Safeguard in FireRed, LeafGreen? Surf is a staple on water types, and why would you run Aurora Beam over Ice Beam? I mean, I understand if you're the programmer, wanting to have variety in moves for the player to see on the opponent's team, but by that same token, none of Lorelei's Pokemon have Ice Beam in Gen 1, yet 3 of them have it in the remakes. All I'm saying here is that there is a reason that these challenges are completely different, but the ones in FireRed, LeafGreen are a lot more formulaic, and that's because in order to defeat the AI, you have to do what works. The AI is broken in Gen 1, so you have the freedom to do a lot more since it's a much lower bar to jump over. Either way, let's just get into the champion fight. It's pretty much the only interesting thing here. First things first, yeah, I managed to make it to the champion at level 99. Sadly though, he provides too much experience for me to not be at the max level. Bummer, but hey, at least we know we can push it just a wee bit. Anyway, he leads with Heracross, and like we saw in the Sentret run, he has Counter. Sadly though, it sees the flying type as a target move, so he uses Rock Tomb. However, combating that, it's still not as threatening since the accuracy is low, and it's easily bypassed by Double Team. 6 of them later, and Heracross is basically not able to touch me with anything. However, I did make sure to give Hoothoot Toxic and Hidden Power, since I have tested Hidden Power before and it happened to be the fighting type. You'll know why we need it in just a bit. 2 returns is enough to take down Heracross as it tries to use Counter on the second turn, feigning in the process. Blastoise is up next, and his ace is nearly a 2-shot as he tries for Ice Beam, missing thanks to Double Team. To my shock and awe, I critical hit him for the KO from full health, showing that my Simple Owl can KO the strongest trainer Pokemon in the game thanks to a critical. If that's not epic, then what is? Anyway, now for our Hidden Power target, Tyranitar. I'm kind of lucky I landed Hidden Power fighting since it's quad weak to it, and Psychic and Shadow Ball couldn't really do much to this thing, if at all, so I needed something. He's a 2-shot after healing, leading to Alakazam. Luckily with him, it's a 1-shot with Return, leading to Executor. Return 2-shots him as Sandstorm just keeps hitting everyone on the field, leading to Arcanine. Oh, I guess he got a crit too, bye-bye I guess. Boy, wouldn't it suck if you were the champion you lost your reign because 2 of the match-ending attacks were critical hits? I'd totally call for a best 2 out of 3. Anyway, with that, we've beaten this game for a 5th time, and admittedly, I think this was one of the more fun runs. But let's take a look at the chart. And yeah, I guess it makes sense for Hoothoot to be average. It's a good first route bird, and has a bit more of an edge over anything up to this point due to having that part Psychic type in its evolution, therefore giving me access to those cool moves. Either way, I'm quite happy with this run, and hopefully I can avoid ranting through the whole round 2 of the Elite Four next time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on Monday with a new video that I talked about in my last update video, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it very much. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed this, make sure to click on the other videos on screen, you'll probably enjoy them too. And if you really enjoyed this video and want to help support me making more content like this, be sure to join my channel as a member to get access to videos 24 hours early, as well as to my Patreon where you can get access to the same 24-hour early privilege, along with many other cool perks such as tabs for my covers and medleys, challenge requests, private chats, and other cool stuff. Stay safe, stay healthy, I'll see you next time.